Welcome once again, everyone. We are heading into our third session of Profile Building Fair, Law Admissions and Scholarships. Joining us for this session is Ms. Neetu Dhadwal from LSAC Global. She is the Director of Business Operations at LSAC Global. At LSAC, she is responsible for managing the LSAC operations in India and developing a cross-functional plan to successfully promote and deliver LSAT India. In this session, she will talk about law as a career option and how LSAT India helps in starting a law career, and finally, the student initiative for high school students to help them improve leadership and communication skill. A very warm welcome, Neetu. It's a pleasure to have you here. And now I pass it over to you to take ahead the session.
Thank you so much, Kajol, to you and Devesh and everyone who is here, present here, taking out time from there. We are all loaded with webinars that we keep attending, but I think we've done a great job of collecting some really nice set of people. So I'll just start sharing my screen quickly, and let's talk about, what law as a career offers to the students. Okay. So we always say we want to be a game changer, we want to lead, we want to do so many things. So I would say I think law is one career option that gives you that opportunity to be the harbinger of the change. So that's where I would begin with. And you see a number of people on the screen right now. Do you know what's the common factor all across all these celebrities? That's right. They're all lawyers. And you can see the politicians, you can see the one of the greatest actors, Gerard Butler there, and you would see some singers, of course, all our independence fighters, all of them were lawyers, right? So you can see that it's not just that I'm saying it, it is proven that they are the harbinger of the changes, right? So what exactly a law means, and it is a very, very complicated, you know, uh, explanation that we say. It's a body of rules and regulations, and they're legally forced, right? And prescribed, recognized, and then enforced in order for people to follow. So why do we need law? So we need law because we have to govern the behavior of the people as per the norms of the society. Plus, we have to see that if there is a damage being done to someone or to the society in general, we have to balance the damage out of it. So that's why we need the law. But then why study law? Of course, right? We need law, but then why do we study law? So I would say law is one of area where you would see that it is not restrictive. It has amazing amount of career options. And I will quick, in a while talk about all of these things. It also helps you build up critical reasoning, thinking, and analytical skills, which are just not useful in study of law, practice of law, or even when you decide to do something beyond law, it will still be there with you. So, and thirdly, which is again, I came back to the power to make a change. You will be able to make a lot of change in the society that you live in, whether you want to change the environmental things, you want to bring justice to the underprivileged, all of that is possible through law. It helps you improve communication and networking skills. And of course, we all know all the lawyers are very respected and have a lot of prestige associated with the law as a career. So I am just depicting few of the law fields that you might have heard about or might have seen about, but there's so many more. So the ones in blue, criminal, corporate, labor, tax, and family, you would have been hearing a lot in the past. They're the basic law fields of law that have any student would love to do. But then there is intellectual law, law and technology, and cyber law, which are very becoming very famous, or I would say very followed by students these days. And then I would just want to focus on the environmental law, space law, sports and entertainment law, which looks very niche, but they have become very important given the focus on the environment, the way the satellites and you're talking about going to Mars and doing, maybe, giving space to people. So it all becomes very important. And then with COVID, international law has become so important that what a country does, what impact does the other countries have because of it. We saw it yesterday, Russia, uh, kind of invading into Ukraine. What are the impacts of it? How's that international law will come into it? So there's so many fields of law that you can explore. So I won't very quick, dwell too much on it. There are 5-year degree programs that you can do by after 12. You could do a degree program after graduation. You could do a master's degree in law, which is LLM, and you can even go in for a PhD degree. Now, just see, there's again, any slide that I'm presenting, I would say many more. So what are the career options and opportunities? So the basic one is the one where you wear a black coat and go to a court, which is litigation. Corporate counsels are the ones who guide an organization on various things. It could be merger and acquisition, it could be anything else. Judicial services. So of course you can be a judge because you're a lawyer. You could very well decide that I know I don't want to be in the law space of law where I have to go to a court. I want to be a teacher. So yeah, you can be a professor in a university where law is taught. Policy work. So whatever the policy framework that governments come up with, you can work there. Civil, there are a lot of civil service, and I showed some pictures to you in the beginning itself. They are all lawyers. Then we need, in the finance side, if we go, or the management side we go, we have the tax consultants, management consultants, we have insurance and banking. Then we have a lot of compliance officials that are currently hired by government bodies and PSUs. And of course, when you deal with humans, there is law that you have to be associated with, labor laws and other things. So there is huge amount of options when you study law, right? Now, how do you get there? Now you know that law is important, law is there. So how do you get there? So I would say this is what the framework that I'm talking about is not just for law, but any field that you want to get in. So of course, gauge your passion. Is it that you want to be, once you have decided that you want to be in law, space of law, then decide whether you like sports law, fashion law, you want to be in corporate, you want to go and do criminal litigations, do tax laws or whatever. Do a lot of deep research into it. And again, as I said, not just law, but any field this framework would work, but especially in the field of law, do research. What are the available options? What are the colleges that accept who deliver this kind of law degree? What is their admission fees? All of that, do the research. It is very necessary. Then select. So you should know what is the eligibility of your career path. What are the skills required? So for example, if I want to be a tax lawyer, I do need some knowledge of commerce, right? If I want to be a IP one, no, maybe I don't need to be a science graduate. But for some, you might have to be a science graduate for some law degrees. For some, you would have to have commerce, or some you can just do with humanities and arts and other options. What is the eligibility to get into the college that you want? Is there an entrance test? Is there a limit, minimum that you have to achieve in 12th standard? All of that you must know. So select it right, and then work hard. You have to really work. No, nothing can replace work, hard work. So work hard on your strengths and even harder on your weaknesses. Okay. Now there are number of national level law entrance tests. The list is huge. I could not have been able to put it all the year, but I just try to put the ones that usually people take. Why have I listed CLAT and LSAT India on the top is because there are a couple of the entrance examinations which have multiple colleges associated with them. And that's throughout the country. IELTS is for Delhi University, Delhi NLU, and then others which you see are either very state specific or college specific. So for example, SLAT is only for the symbiosis, or ULSAT is for the UPS Law College. Now, I'm going to be focusing very quickly on this LSAT India, which is the exam that the company that I represent, which does or conducts LSAT India. And we always say discover law, your law school journey starts here. And why do we say that? I will just bring it to you in a while. So LSAT India, and you've been hearing that how, other exams are going online now. LSAT India decided it the moment we went into a COVID situation, we became an online exam. As I said, it is a single examination from with multiple premier law schools in India which accept that score. And of course, other than, if you would see any other law entrance examination, you may see some sections like mathematics, general knowledge, legal studies being asked in the entrance examination. But we don't do that. We focus on your reading comprehension, your logical reasoning, your analytical reasoning, all the skills that you would need to which improve your essential skills to succeed at a law school. Okay. Now, which are the colleges? So it's very important for you to know that there are very prominent colleges which are associated with LSAT India. So apart from Jindal Global Law School, which is the main school that we have, we also have a number of other colleges like Alliance University, UPS, IFIM, Manav Rachna, and so on. And MIT universities, number of colleges are there, MIT are with us. We have BML Munjal, GD Goenka, NMIMS, VIT, all of them are accepting LSAT India scores. Now, what we have done, and I think this was brought in the first session, that is there a practice material available to prepare for LSAT India? Yes, we have it all. If you are very comfortable picking up a book, we have a handbook and a super prep, which you can use to study. If you're more comfortable with online method, we have LSAC Law Prep, which is also useful for you. The only thing that you have to be careful about is practice, practice, and practice, because that's how you will develop these essential skills. I just would quickly want to touch upon, because a lot of people say that law is very, very expensive. We do not know how we will be supporting our education. So in order to help you all, we have built a couple of scholarships. One is the topper scholarship, which we give out to 53 top students on the UG and PG program. And then we have a essay scholarships, again, 3 scholarships. You'll have to submit a winning entry on the essay. So you have to, the topic of the essay this year is impact of social media. Very comfortable topic for you guys, I believe. And then the submission is somewhere in May. So you can submit entries. If you're selected, you could be a winner of up to 2 lakh rupees is what you could win, right? Then what are the qualities to succeed as a lawyer? So I talked about critical skills that I talked about, and this is important for you because these skills, again, will not be just useful for law, but you'll find them useful in any career that you might choose to take up even after studying law or otherwise. So there's analytical skills, communication skills, leadership, teamwork, reasoning skills, interpersonal skills. And I would just go to what Dhruva was talking about, the research skills, because you do so much of work, you have to do so much of research being a lawyer while studying or being in the profession that your research skills become very, very immense, right? So those are the skills that you need to succeed as a lawyer. Now, how are we helping as a body, LSAC, the Law School Admission Council, which has about over 75 years of experience in US. And now we have been here in India for about 12 years now. So what do we do for you? So we have 2 very amazing programs at the high school level. And we try to, give you all these skills that we talked about. We have this DLI Student Ambassador program that you can get into if you are 11th or a 12th grader. You would be working with other high school students because it's a body across the nation, and some schools in the Middle East also are part of it. You will be interacting with law students studying at other premier law schools. You will also be interacting with people in LSAC and, of course, the lawyers and legal dignitaries that we bring in. You also, if you write blogs and articles, those will be published on our website, official website, which is discoverlaw.in. And you could always present that as part of your CV that, hey, I was published at even an 11th and 12th standard. And then because you're conducting events, quizzes, debates, moot courts, your management and leadership skills improve. And so I would just definitely want you to go and explore this program and be part of it. It's open right now. You could send us an essay and send in a form, which is on our website, and you can be part of the ambassador program if you're selected. And of course, there's no cost associated with this program. The other one that I want to talk about is a moot court. And moot courts are aplenty, but they are usually for the law students, the people who are already in a law school, right? But what we thought of is how do we provide that experience to law aspirants in their 11th and 12th standard? How do we give them an opportunity to study, to get a glimpse of what law entails? So we organize this DLI moot court every year. We just finished it in February, and we had some amazing 11th and 12th graders who presented uh, about a case. So all you need is be a student of 11th or 12th standard, and of course you fill in the LSAT India form. What does that help you with? So it helps you build the enhance your critical thinking and problem solving skills. So this moot court does not entail any law, legal things that you have to present. You're just arguing for or against a problem that has been given to you. So it also helps you improve your written skills because we ask you to send a written, debate kind of a thing, written pro and con thing about the problem that we have given you. You also get exposure to the nuances of a court system because there will be uh, judges will be there who are actually lawyers, very famous lawyers to bring in. And then you also get training in presenting it. So it's not just that we ask you to be part of a competition. We give you training there. So we will definitely be doing another one very soon, and we will spread that information through maybe Next Genius as well to let you experience the law school even before you become a lawyer, right? Now, there is no typical legal career and there's no typical law school student. So I can't define for you that, hey, if you would do this, your legal career would be amazing. Or if you have those skills, you will be typical law school student. All you need is to get started. Just have that not thirst for knowledge and inquiry and then desire to make a difference. Lawyers succeed when because they want to make a change, right? So this is our contact details, and I'll just take a pause here and let Kajol take over, and I will be very happy to take over your questions if you have any.
Thank you so much, Neetu, for such a wonderful and insightful session and sharing all the details and insights about how to be a law student and how to get started. As you mentioned in the end, that all you need is to start somewhere and everything will fall in place. Yes, we have one question that has come up from the participants is there any field in law which we can use psychology?
I'm not, I wouldn't say there is at this moment anything, but if you see what psychology and law could be associated with is that there are a lot of criminals or the prisons have, psychologists going to them now. So if you have added law knowledge in that, right, you could be helpful in helping them out, cope up with their, of course, with your psychology background, but you could also help them with their cases if you wanted. So right now, I'm not aware of any program of that kind, but I'm sure if you have thought of it, the law colleges would think about it as well very quickly. So yeah, I would just say that.
Great. Thank you for answering that question. If we have any other questions, please shoot it up and Ms. Neetu will be answering them.
So Kajal, I mean, if there's, I'll just take very quickly 1 more minute to just talk
Sure.
about, law as a career because we say that, hey, engineering and medical has been the core profession that we have been talking about. Every child, and including myself, when I was young, I wanted to be a doctor, or somebody would want to be an engineer. If you're a commerce student, you would want to be a CA, right? But those were the very basic degrees that everybody would go and opt for. But now that has changed. It has changed so much, right? You could join the law degrees, and I'm not just talking about law as a profession, but think about it. Music has become a profession. There is, machine learning, and all of that is coming. And just look at law fixing up itself in every place. Now, if you have, music, you produce a music, there's somebody who needs to protect your IP rights for it, right? If you are into AI and machine learning, there are laws associated with that. With international, as I said in my presentation, the boundaries are blurring now. So I might be publishing a book, but I want to sell it in another country. How does that work out? There are OTT platforms. Uh, how does that, everything has to be protected by law. And people who are very interested in sports, the IPL, when they are sold the players, there's a law and contract to be signed for them as well. So um, I'm just amazed and of course I'm part of it, but I'm amazed at how law touches every little thing which is here. So just one more thing that I just wanted to add, Kajol.
Thank you so much, Neetu, for adding giving us this additional information and shedding light on how people are changing and how the career options are changing with the change that is coming up in the world. We have two, three more questions. What subjects are required to take law?
As I said initially, you could go into law studying either sciences, commerce, or arts or humanities. As I said, the only thing that you would be watchful is, say, if you want to be a tax lawyer, you will have to have some commerce background that will help you, right? But if you just want to be a criminal or a basic BA, then BA LLB is there, and you could opt it out of the any stream that you want to. So there's BA LLB, there's BCom LLB, there's BSc LLB, there's BBA LLB. I can keep naming it. Plus, if you think that in 12th you're not sure about it, then do your graduation, and after graduation you could do LLB, right? LLB and then LLM. And I've seen a lot of people who are professionals like me, who at some point of their life take law. They say, okay, I want to add a degree to my professional list. Let me do LLB. So it's not that you have to stick to it like in 12th or graduation. You could do it any given point of time. There is no limitation to it. And then law is like a doctor. You could be a lawyer till you die.
That's amazing. So there's one more question. Is there any fee to join high school law programs?
No, the one that I talked about, both the programs that we run for law students, they are free of cost. There's no cost attached to it. Absolutely.
Okay, great. There's one more question. What's the difference between LNAT and LSAT?
LNAT and LSAT, is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Yes.
So LNAT is the entrance examination for UK colleges. So if you want to go to a law school in UK, you will have to appear for LNAT. Okay, which is, I believe, national aptitude test in law, something like that. And then if you are looking for colleges in US, North America, US, Canada, and Australia, then it is LSAT, which is the law school admission test. If you're giving it in India, there is a version of LSAT, which is LSAT India, that you give. So these are different exams catering to different colleges.
Okay. Thank you so much, Neetu, once again for this wonderful insights. Any closing comments?
No, my pleasure, Kajol, to be here, and I hope that this session was useful for the people who want to take up law or have not decided anything and they could take up law. So thank you so much again to you and Next Genius for organizing such a wonderful program. And it was my pleasure to even hear the previous speakers, and I would love to hear the other speakers as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Neetu. Before closing, we have one last question. I have never studied history or geography, so can I still give LSAT?
So, Kajol, let me just very quickly differentiate between LSAT and LSAT India. So, LSAT, which is the exam for US colleges, is a graduate exam. So, in US, it is after your degree, first degree only, you could take up a law, law as a career choice. So, LSAT is that. But for LSAT India, which is a 5-year, because in India, we acknowledge 5-year programs of law, which start right after your 12th. So LSAT India, for LSAT India, you do not have to worry about that. And I'm not very good at what LSAT in US does much, but like Cornell and Harvard, all colleges accept it. So I don't think there would be any problem in studying whatever you want. And even if you have not studied something, you could take up law with any stream that you have right now. And I'm being very, very honest about it. Any stream that you have, you could go and take up law. You don't have to worry about that. Oh, if I was engineer, if I wanted to be engineer, I need to have mathematics in my 11th and 12th. But for law, you don't need to have any such criteria. There's no eligibility in that sense.
Great. Thank you so much, Neetu, once again for joining us today and sharing all the wonderful things about law as a career and explaining students about how LSAT India works.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. All the best to everyone.